Welcome everyone. This is another episode of The Life of Charles Schmidt. Charles, today we will be talking about the importance of friendship. Throughout my time working with you, I've seen how you worry, how you take care of your friends, how you talk to your friends. In the previous video, you said that you have at least 10 phone calls, or you have to at least 10 people per day. So tell us, what does being a good friend means to you?
It means everything to me. It means trust. It means I am not a loner. I need people around to talk to share ideas with, to be interested in me and that I am interested in them. In other words, my friends are genuinely interested in me.
Do you think it's better to have many acquaintances or a few close friends?
Well, I would like to have one or two or three real close friends and then many acquaintances.
Why?
I would like to have people that I can intimately share things with and that will tell me the truth and not just try to humor me. To say, oh, well, you're a great guy and you're this, that, and the other thing, and, benefit from. In other words, I need people to tell me, what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, and I don't have to agree with them. And if I don't ask people something, they're not going to tell me anything. If I avoid them, they're not going to tell me anything. Like, I have a friend in this building, John. He says I'm his best friend. Well, the bottom line, he has no friends. He's introverted. He stays by himself. He's just and he's worried about money all the time.
Speaking of that, what do you think is the secret to keeping lifelong friends?
I think that's very difficult. Something's going to go wrong, or they're going to die, or they're going to move out of town. It's hard to keep them. One of my very best friends is, I lost track of him for 50 years, and then finally I got him back.
Wow. Do you think that distance will break a friendship, or do you think that would just be the same once the person, like you said, like there's always a concern of people moving or either passing, but if someone
it's just a fact of life. It just happens. It's just, people are going to die, people are going to get sick, people are going to get old, people are going to move away, or people are not going to like you anymore.
Similar to John, your neighbor, what do you think is the most important quality to look for in someone that you want to become friends with?
Somebody that I can help, somebody that I can do something for.
What is a meaningful thing that a friend of yours have done for you, and how did it shape your life?
Well, there's a couple people in particular that have been very meaningful to me in the last 15 years. When Jean Taylor first invited me to go out with her, people say, stay away from him. He's a scammer. He's no good. He'll steal your money and everything. These are people who didn't even know me, but they just know that some guy like me sees somebody like Jean Taylor can try to steal all their money. Well, there's one guy, Bill Told, who passed away now. Socially acceptable guy, real nice house, real nice lifestyle. And he and his wife would invite me over with Jean to play bridge over at their house. and he had a butler, and he had a cook, and elegant. And every time somebody wanted to talk about Gene or me or the relationship, he'd say, Charles is a really nice guy. He's a really good guy. He's really the... So that's what a friend will do, will be stalwart in their relationships. Even though, a lot of people talk about Bill Untold and all his idiosyncrasies. He genuinely said always nice things about me. So that's what I consider a good friend, that is respectful of me being in love with Gene Taylor and didn't need the distractions of other people saying that he's no good. And so Gene said, well, maybe he isn't so good, and maybe I just should continue to be lonely and not have somebody that wants to take care of me. He's one guy. Another guy is Philip Talercio, and he's a bon vivant guy, and he was always say real nice things about Gene and me. So now the interesting thing is, both these are gay guys. I'm not gay, but they respect me. I respect them for whatever they want, whatever they are. It's if they're genuinely kind, nice, thoughtful people, and that's important to me. Another good friend I have is Shannon Donnelly, who's a writer for the Palm Beach Post. And Gene always wanted to be in the shiny sheet because that gave her credibility to be everybody, oh, Gene, saw you in the shiny sheet. That pretty dress you had on, all that stuff. And Gene liked that. So I was extra nice to Shannon Donnelly, and she has always been extra nice to me.
That's amazing to hear it. If you could gather 3 of your most meaningful friends today, what would you say to them? 3 of them.
I'd say thank you. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for all the good, trying to make my life better so that I might be able to share my life, enjoy it with others, and possibly by the relationship with me, their life is better. Like these students are deprived of something that I might teach them, that they might learn. I might make their life happier. I might contribute to their college education or something. But I'm deprived of that opportunity because some scammers tarnished my reputation. The school they chose to believe that, well, it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me, who are those 3 friends that you will thank them for?
Well, I thank them for genuinely trusting me that I am a decent person, and they're free to stake their reputation on telling their friends that I'm a decent person.
So who are they?
I just mentioned them. There's Bill Told, who's dead now.
Okay.
Philip Talercio's very much alive, but I hardly see him but he just called me yesterday. I hadn't talked to him in months. And then Shannon, I see about once a month. And probably my best friend today is Summer. I mean, not my wife, not my girlfriend, not just Summer.
Charles, have you ever had to walk away from a friendship? And why?
Sure. One of the best friendships I've had in the last 3 years is this couple that scammed me. I I trusted them. I thought they were really good people. I thought the university didn't know what they were talking about. How can they say something? I defended this guy. I staked my reputation saying what a good guy he is and what a great person his wife is, and I was totally wrong. Yeah, it's heartbreaking, heart-rending, depressing. I don't know. There's all kinds of descriptions that I trusted somebody that I love those people.
You just talked amazingly about these three friends of yours, the one that's not with us anymore, but what is the best way to know if someone is really your friend or not just interested in what you can offer?
The simple answer is that it's time. In other words, consistent. Like you can acquire a friendship and meet somebody one time. Oh, this is really a great person. And then you meet him the next day, a week later, you continue to think that. And then maybe 6 weeks later, he does something really.
Agreed.
So I can only say that it's time. In other words, the length of it takes sometimes a long time to develop friendships. Now, this guy Patrick, who's my personal representative, he has been my friend for over 15 years. And I trust him, and he has never disappointed me. He has never done anything that would indicate to me that maybe I shouldn't trust him. He doesn't always think the same way I do, but he's definitely got integrity.
You mentioned something about having honest friends and that you want your friends to tell you whenever you're doing wrong, whenever you're doing right. But from your end, what would be the best way to say no to a friend without damaging the friendship?
That is one of the hardest things for me. I tell somebody something and they will get offended when I'm genuinely trying to make a suggestion.
How many times have you tried to rebuild trust in a friendship that has been lost?
It's very, very difficult to rebuild friendships. Jeez. I told my daughter-in-law that I thought her kids were spoiled, and that's over 2 years ago. And she's trying to, a little bit, trying to be nice to me, and I'm trying to be nice to her. But I destroyed that friendship. I severely damaged it. I didn't intentionally do it, but that's how she interpreted it. And I can't change her mind.
You're totally right. I think it's really hard to rebuild a friendship, and especially when it comes to trust and feelings and emotions. But you just used a very important word, which was like trusting and rebuilding. In case things like that happens for the viewers out there and for people who watch this video, what advice would you give them when it comes to setting healthy boundaries with friends?
Well, you have your own set of values, and some people are just basically critical. I am only critical to the people that I want to help, that I want to improve their life. I want to make I'll be critical, some politician or something that I don't agree with. But that's not like being critical of a friend.
Absolutely. What would you tell people about keeping balance on giving and receiving on a friendship?
Well, I don't look at it that way. I look at it, how much can I do? Not what I'm going to get in return.
how do you make sure that in a friendship you are not just a provider or the fixer, but an equal friend?
That doesn't enter my mind, because, I do what I can. If they don't do what friendship, maybe they don't consider me that I'm their friend. Maybe I might consider them, they're my friend, but maybe they got other people they like better, or, so that's their choice.
That's really amazing.
Not everybody gonna like what they hear here and say, that's just some old babbling idiot. Or somebody can,
I'm sure they won't.
Well,
trust me.
Let me tell you, there'll be a lot of people that will, and a lot of people that won't.
Those videos are like coffee with sugar, and there's people who like coffee with cream and coffee with no sugar. But at the end of the day, it's still being coffee, and your videos are still being important, no matter what.
Thanks.
Charles.
Makes me feel good, Henry.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
come back
listen.
Come back for the next episode.
Yeah, sure. I will be back. Don't worry about that. So if you could go back, to the Charles when we talk about the first video, grow up in the farm and all those things. What advice could you give the younger Charles about about friendship, and what will it be?
Well, I think when I was very young, I just took friendships for granted. I thought, well, I had a whole lot of friends and, playmates, friends. And I didn't realize how important those relationships were, and how a lot of them, just went away. I had this one guy in college that I thought he was some. I thought he had everything going for him. All the girls loved him, and he came from a rich family. He had rich girlfriends, good student, and he was a party boy. And hey, he just got drunk one day and drove his car into the bridge or something, and that was the end of him.
Wow.
He didn't last.
And you wanted to be like him?
He was my friend. He was my buddy, and then he's not here anymore.
Charles, as always, thank you. And we always like to finish the videos with one of those questions. I think they're kind of my favorite because they're like the greatest takeaway for the videos. So today, can you finish the sentence for me? The most surprising thing about friendship as I got older is...
They're absolutely invaluable. They're essential. They're such an important part of life. I don't know anybody that can get through life without friendship.
And I agree with you.
And I didn't realize how important it was. The realization comes to me more and more every day. And I wish I had known this much earlier in my life.
You're totally right on that. Charles, thank you so much for sharing your experiences. Thank you for being so open and able to talk to people about what you've gone through, what you believe, what you have learned. And the main purpose of the videos is to tell your experiences, but also to leave the experience out there for whoever watch those videos, right? And making sure that they can work for them, right? So everyone, thank you for staying tuned. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much.
One final thing, Henry, these things just don't happen. This is just not a casual conversation. You prepare for this every day, or you spend all your hours putting this together. It's well organized. Thank you. This is not your native language, but you can write better and articulate better than most American people, and for that you deserve a lot of credit, and I consider you a very important friend, and it's kind of appropriate episode 9, The Importance of Friendship. And that was written by Henry Hernandez, who did the interview today.
Well, thank you, Charles. Right back to you. Likewise, I feel like I sync with you since the very first time I came to work with you. I think that I got the hang of it. When I came and saw you, that you have little clips here and there, and I was like, no, this needs a root, and that's what we're doing. So stay tuned for the next video.